this weekend in downtown Grand Rapids. The red carpet being rolled out. A new documentary is premiering, and the premiere is happening at Celebration Cinemas at Studio Park. The Anti-Diet Diet Club dives into the global confusion surrounding weight loss and obesity, and it's a story being told by a Grand Rapids native now living in Los Angeles.
What do you want to get off your chest, Ben?
I don't want to die. I'm having people tell me, well, you got to change.
I had my baby, needed to make a change. I was at my heaviest, that I've ever been. I need to be a healthy mom and have a healthy lifestyle for my son.
Interview, take one, Mark.
Sometimes it's like me pulling up my camera roll. I have to remind myself what I've actually accomplished.
I knew that there was something wrong. I knew you're not supposed to be bigger than everybody else.
10 years, down 200 pounds, I started to hit the point where 400-pound me seems like just a different life. We really have a hard conversation about weight loss surgery. We talk about weight loss medications. We talk about your relationship with food. We talk about therapy.
Of course, changing foods, eating more lean proteins, more high fiber foods, more fruits and vegetables, less processed foods, all those things can help. But the mindset to get you to do that, to change your habits, to change what has been ingrained in you for so long, that is the most critical piece.
Whether you realize it or not, you have broke the cycle already.
It's human to be scared. It's human to be scared of losing what's held near.
The scars that we have, the weight that we lose, the weight that we gain, that's our story to tell. That's our experiences to share with other people.
All we got is time. It's human to be scared.
We all had a different way, a different journey, but in the same day, we all had the same set goal. And the thing that helped us get there was our support system.
The only thing that's holding you back is you.
All we got is time.
I prayed for death. I have a reason to live.
Very powerful stuff. Joining us now is the director and Grand Rapids native Josh Sikkema and the executive producer David Roden. Good morning, guys. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Appreciate you guys are in town. I know you guys flew in from LA yesterday, so we're happy to have you guys in studio with us. First, tell us about the film. What does it entail? Of course, we got the teaser right there with the trailer. So in your words, tell us all about it.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, so Anti-Diet Diet Club, myself and John, we have been friends for about 5 years through social media. And we came together about 5 years ago to see there's so much stigma around obesity, weight, and keto, paleo, carnivore, all this kind of stuff. And the whole thing to me was we need to come together to share an inspiring story where we talk about tools and tactics to help the majority of people learn what it takes to change their life. And so John actually came up with the name Anti-Diet Diet Club because, yes, diet and nutrition is extremely important. It's only one of what the reason is why we're obese. For myself, I've been down 200 pounds for 10 years.
Wow.
And it's been a journey to say the least. This doc is very personal to me because I know a lot of people struggle with obesity, just getting told they're lazy and all this kind of stuff, the stigma's behind it. And so it was a needed conversation that you just don't see in the documentary space today. And I'm beyond excited to inspire millions with the doc and help people learn the truth of starting their journey off to losing hundreds of pounds and building a better self-image and quality of life and quality of health.
Yeah. How did you guys get hooked up here to do this movie?
we knew each other in middle school.
Okay, so are you also from Grand Rapids
yes,
too? Okay,
I went to Forest
Hills.
Hills.
We've got two Grand Rapids natives. Okay, gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, welcome back. Very cool.
Now, weight loss journeys are so different for everybody. How were you able to fuse and merge this into one documentary?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, when he proposed this idea, him and John presented this lovely idea of how they actually all met on social media. And so the story about how they all met and helped each other really lose the weight. I mean, 6 individuals that lost 1,400 pounds combined. Wow. I mean, it's incredible. So as you know, a documentary filmmaker and a director and studio owner, I was like, that is it. You know, that's it. And David was like, hey, we can easily get a hold of these people. Let's get them on camera, and that's how we came up with the idea.
Yeah, pretty cool. And also just an inspiring story to want to undertake. How big of an undertaking is it? And we also do have some pictures from behind the scenes to display as well while you're talking about this. But I mean, how big of an undertaking is it to combine all of these stories into one to make one finished product here?
Well, you find the through line, and it's a lot of him and I, not only in the beginning, but in the editing, you know, just going back and forth. So
it's actually wild because of that and trying to tell an authentic story of weight loss, transformation, people are in this position for different reasons.
Yeah.
And so like trying to take, what, 90 minutes of interviews per person, so you got like 7-8 hours.
And is this what we're seeing, the interviews right here?
Yeah,
okay.
And like trying to take incredible stories and then create that cohesive message. There was a lot of late nights trying to like wind everything together to make sure we had a really concise message that I think we really teed up well.
Yeah, and the goal was to shoot it all at Black Pigeon Studios, and so
which is your studio.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we unfortunately closed the studio a year ago, but you know, the mission was and will always be bringing film here in West Michigan specifically, but then Michigan in general. So we flew all of the cast out. So the cast.
I was going to say, because in the trailer, I think that was Lookout Park. Was it not the opening shot of the trailer?
Correct.
Okay.
And so I think it's all about seeing these stories on major streaming platforms, right? But you're seeing them, and you have Grand Rapids in the background. So what a wonderful way to be able to bring it home, shoot it within the studio, use local talent. Not only have David and I known each other our whole lives, but to be able to use cast and crew from Grand Rapids was an incredible feat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And what a cool and unique thing. I mean, that's not something you think of when you think of Beer City, USA, right?
Maybe
People
Movie
hear,
City, new Movie City,
right,
USA.
Exactly. You guys are really paving the way. So what is it that you really hope when somebody sees this for the first time, or even when they just see that trailer that we just saw, what do you want them to take away?
Biggest takeaway for me and everyone in the cast and crew, number one, it's never too late. Like whether you're 15, whether you're 50, whether you're towards the end of life, it's no matter where you are in life. We have people that were 500, 520 pounds. Me, I was 400. We all had the same mentality, which is like, you're too far gone, you can't do this. And it starts with one day at a time. It starts with having a good self-image that your body is a piece of who you are, but it's not your identity. And so for me, like 400-pound me, I thought being 400 pounds is who I was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I broke down that stigma of like, no, this is just a behavior, this is just a habit, this is just a thing like that. And so the biggest message is you can start today, you build a better self-image, and you treat your body with respect, and incredible things can happen over time.
Josh, I think it's interesting. We've got to ask you, because you've known him since middle school, to be able to tell this story in the way that you have, that's got to be the world to you, right?
It was an incredible experience, one that I'll never have again. I mean, it was just a one-off. It's so cool that we could, I was told a long time ago, sometimes the best stories are right in front of your face, right? And it happened to be David's story and David's friends' stories. So it was incredibly special, and for the private screening, it's going to be incredibly special to see them watch it for the first time together as a cast.
Yeah, let's talk about the screening, because it is happening tomorrow in downtown Grand Rapids. I know we've been saying premiere. You can't just walk up and go to the movie, you guys. This is a private screening, but tell us about what people there at the screening will be expecting.
Well, they're going to see, 80 minutes of inspiring stories. I mean, back to back to back. In my industry, they say don't do talking head, floating head pieces, but this is one that literally just keeps you engaged because the stories are so incredible. So they're definitely going to experience that. They're going to see David and the whole crew together, so you will be able to see the Anti-Diet Club together.
That's pretty cool.
What's it feel like to get to bring this back to Grand Rapids, your hometown?
Whew. It's different because it's not something you would see in West Michigan.
Right.
So I think it's fun that shout out to Josh for trying to really instill the production side of what Michigan used to be. And there's definitely opportunities in the future that we can collab with local West Michigan to there's incredible stories around here, and I know with the right people speaking, with the right talent, we can help bring up West Michigan. So
Pretty cool. I want to ask one more question. I meant to ask this a few minutes ago. How long does it take to put together a documentary like this?
So that was the whole point in this experiment, you could call it, from front to back, from fundraising, going out. I mean, this was literally shot outside of the interviews where we had local crew. It was basically me with a camera, right?
Wow.
And so just finding financing here and there and going along the way. I mean, we made it in a year and a half. So it was an incredible feat. We dissected why do documentaries take so long to make and to put out? And so I think a year and a half is a great timeline.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
we were able to carry it all ourselves.
Especially talking about a topic that's evergreen. It's something that no matter where you are in life, it might relate back to you.
Yeah.
After the screening, let's talk about distribution. Where can people go and watch it after it's premiered tomorrow?
We can't talk about it yet.
Okay.
But it is with an agency right now, and we are in talks with major streamers. So we will be able to see it on streaming platforms very soon.
All right, and we'll be asking you that whenever you can talk about that.
Yeah,
so there you go.
absolutely.
All right, it is. Thank you guys so much for coming out
you.
to here to Michigan and back home, I guess, to talk about this story. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to watching it.
Best of luck.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's going to do fantastic.
Absolutely.